Because here's the thing too, like with divorce, like divorce was typically first made to deal with like women that didn't work, right? It was basically like it was a safety net for women that like lived with a guy, raised kids, etc. They weren't in the workforce, so that guy was responsible for not only the children but like alimony in some states where he would continue her lifestyle at a certain level, but that she got acclimated to because she wasn't able to enter the workforce. But the thing is that the laws haven't updated with feminism. Women now make their own money. They're fairly successful. And the laws are still like we're in 1940s and 50s when women weren't in the weren't in the workforce to the same level as they are now.
Yeah,
I think it's unfair.
They've created a really in the modern Western world with no-fault divorce and just increased secularization of everything. Honestly, they have created a very poor incentive for young men, especially guys who are successful on their path to success, to be married. Right. So, if you don't have strong religious beliefs or convictions, then as a man, it's not a good deal, honestly. And I hate saying that because I love the institution of marriage and I'm a big believer in it. I'm a Christian myself, but if I were just like a secular dude or I were an atheist, then like marriage, I'd be like, man, like what's the point of this? As you said, I'm just creating this contract with the government. To me, marriage is a religious institution, straight up.
Right.
To me, it's a covenant with the individuals, and their families, and God. Mm-hmm. Right. To me, that's what it is. The government, the state involvement, whatever. Yes, it's in the picture now. I don't necessarily think it should be. I think that's created a lot of problems. And I think that now the issue is that people honestly don't take the institution seriously. It's been so watered down. It's been so bastardized. It's just like, just do whatever. It's
and
just
to add to that point, right? We interviewed a lady right here a couple weeks ago, and she was saying, yeah, I was married to this guy. He paid all the bills, took care of me, spoiled me, but I got bored.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
I was like, hold on a second. He committed to you, gave everything up for you, gave you the life that you actually wanted. And because you're bored, you're going to leave him? Mm-hmm. It's like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, they get rewarded for doing it.
Yeah.
They get half of everything.
No fault divorce was a freaking atom bomb, man. No fault divorce is an atom bomb, man. Because that's not how divorce, most of human history and in most of the world, divorce isn't just like, oh, I'm not happy or I'm bored or whatever, right? And it's also crazy because I think a lot of times people go into these relations. It can happen in any long-term relationship, but especially a marriage, thinking they're going to stay in the honeymoon phase forever. Right. Love changes over time. Right. As you start dating someone new, you're like,
we change as individuals.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're in a new relationship, like it's real, it's exciting, right? It's very exciting. Get those butterflies. You're so excited to like see the person and so on. And then, after a while, you get used to each other.
This motherfucker.
You get used to each other, and you're spending all this time.
Breathing so hard.
You start getting, so like the love deepens in some ways, but it's not as like hot and spicy. And I think a lot of times when people say like I'm not happy or I'm not bored or something, it's actually they've just kind of hit that new phase where it feels a little bit more like a deep friendship.
Like it's a transition.
Than necessarily, they're expecting. I think people are getting married expecting like
that spark to be there forever.
Yeah, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, we're still going to be like jumping on top of each other as soon as someone comes home, and we get children into the picture and so on. And so I think people's expectations perhaps are unrealistic. And then when it's just you've got this no-fault divorce situation where like what you don't even need a reason. Right. It's like not like, oh, he mistreated me or he's drunk all the time or he stopped. Like nothing, no infidel, nothing. Like just he's doing great, like he's cool, I like him, whatever.
Which is boring.
But it's just we're kind of bored. Then I think that's a shame.
Yeah, I've always said it. The worst thing you could do for a girl to turn her off is bore her.
Be boring.
There's a reason why controversial take. And the sound effect, Chris. Okay, the reason why like girls like stay with abusive partners or guys that are terrible or toxic or whatever is because they give them highs and lows. There's a reason why bad boys are attractive. They're able to stimulate erratic emotions out of women, and women are addicted to their emotions and feeling certain types of way, highs and lows. That's what girls like. That's why bad boys win and nice guys lose. I mean, hell, we saw that earlier with you. He gave you everything that you wanted, but you still left him, and that's not to put you on the spot. But I guarantee a bunch of you guys have a guy in the friend zone right now that would probably make a fantastic boyfriend and or potential husband, but he's boring. Fuck that shit. I don't want that. Women are repulsed by boredom. Men love boredom. In other words, what do I mean by that? I would love for my girl to be boring as fuck, want to always be home, not necessarily go out, be in these streets, live my life, all these other things. Men love that.
So you can go out and be not boring and be out in these streets while your girl's home boring.
Well, here's
not
the
in these
thing.
streets.
We're attracted to different things. You love a guy that's ambitious, that's out there, that's a go-getter. Other girls want him. He's the man. He's in charge, etc. We don't want that in our women typically. Women want a guy that has status and able to provide. Men want a woman. We don't care about that stuff.
Low key.
And I'll tell you this, as a guy that pretty successful, whatever it may be, I don't want my girl out there like that. If I'm out there, that's not a big deal. I'm a man, right? But like as a woman, I don't want my girl all over the place and out there. The thing is with female beauty, it needs to be protected and cherished. And a big part of that is not being out there all over the place. And I know a lot of girls, that's controlling. It's not controlling. It's me being in control of the type of woman that I associate myself with. If you want a title from me, that's going to come with certain rules and boundaries. Yeah. And I don't want a girl that's all over the place. And I would argue most men feel that way when it comes to their main girl. If it's a chick they're just having sex with or whatever, they don't give a fuck. But if it's like their main girl, that's my wife, no guy wants to ever walk into a room and everybody like, oh, what the fuck? I've seen her before.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind is that in this modern era, especially here, man, like it's rare to hear men be honest about what they actually think because it's not politically correct for us to say so.
But you want to know something? That's an opinion because at the end of the day, men, if they were to come more, upfront with what they really want and what they really expect and what they really want to do, it's like I've had men that have told me like, listen, I love you, I have feelings for you, but I'm gonna live my life. This is what I'm doing right now, and I don't want to hurt you. But I'm being real with you. I have feelings for you, and I have feelings for someone else as well, and that's your decision if you choose to deal with that. So now it's like when I see something and something is like, fuck, but I cannot really say something to him because he told me. But now when you're in my ear, you're my dream girl, I love you, I only want you, this, that, and then you're doing something else. Bitch, don't be mad when I'm busting on motherfucking windows because you is playing. You're playing too many games for me. And I'm a Scorpio. I don't like to play out of games.
That's what I told you about your sign.
Let me commit a crime and rationalize it by when I was born. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, I think conversations like this are important because I think in our society and culture, man,
but that makes sense though, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, what he said was an opinion though.
Things are just very confused right now because we're in this weird transition phase, man. We kind of touched about it on the earlier podcast where we're still hanging on to a lot of the vestiges of traditionalism and the conservative way of doing things. And even the laws, as you said, are all based around that. But then there's also simultaneously this feminist push and this egalitarian push and this idea that men and women are not actually even really different, right? They're trying to just make everyone these weird genderless blobs to the point where if you even talk about masculine traits or feminine traits, people are like, oh, well, what? Yeah, people get offended by everything. If you talk about the differences that exist between men and women, it always offends people, right? There's people who want to jump in there and say, oh, with this exception, that exception, or this or this. And it's just like, that's feelings. But biologically, we are different. There's a lot of overlap between men and women, but what men are attracted to in women is not the same as what women are attracted to in men. And I think most men understand this, but a lot of women have been led to believe that we're attracted to the same thing. So oftentimes when a woman is even saying, here's what I bring to the table, they're saying stuff that they're attracted to, right? They're saying stuff that they're thinking these are the qualities I would want in a man, but it's just not the same the other way around at all.
Nope.
If you could be, let's be real, if a girl is bad, she could be completely broke. She could be working in Burger King. She'd be in KFC. There will be dudes all up in her DMs. She'll be getting asked out all the time. She's hot. That's what it is. She could be like a CEO, millionaire, super successful. If she's not physically attractive and she's not like super feminine, guys are not going to be interested. Nope. They don't care if she's a CEO. They don't care if she runs her own business. They don't care. That's not what men are attracted to. And I think oftentimes it's something that seems obvious to me, but I think we tell so many lies in society and so many people get brainwashed by lies all the time that they end up just thinking, you know, women enter this masculine frame. You've now got a lot of men entering this weird feminine frame. And no one is really particularly happy about it. Women are like, yo, what happened to masculinity? Where are the masculine guys? Whatever. And men simultaneously are like, you know,
why are girls telling me to suck their dick? This is